Hello students, welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas. We have an app by the name CareersCloud which you can go and download through Play Store. Once you have downloaded the application, you will be able to easily log in using your Gmail ID. Once you have logged in, you will be redirected to this page where you will be getting this UI and there will be option for home, all courses, my courses and doubt section. On this application, you will be getting multiple PDFs, multiple content on daily basis that will be enhancing your learning. Our first segment is daily current affairs. We make sure to provide you current affairs on daily basis in both English as well as in Hindi content. The PDFs for the same are uploaded on our application, and apart from this, we also make sure to provide you with quizzes that will help you to revise the content after you have gone through the PDF. Next comes our weekly content. The content is also provided in both English as well as in Hindi, and here we also make sure to provide you quiz also of that past week's current affairs that will be enhancing your learning, as it is a compilation of the important topics, important MCQ questions for the last week. Similar for the monthly, the PDFs are very important. They provide you insights of various topics, as well as we also make sure to provide you the quiz of monthly questions that are very important for learning. Next, we also provide you with important PIB articles on daily basis so that you can go through these articles and have an insight about that particular topic. Not just this, we also make sure to provide you important events that are happening globally and make sure to give you the right analysis. One of the most important segment of our application is that we make sure to provide you with the correct exam analysis. When you are having exam, we make sure to provide you with previous year questions so that the student can go through the exam pattern and the syllabus and can prepare the exam accordingly based on the pattern. After the exam, we also make sure to provide you with the exam analysis. Then for the students who are preparing for state exams, they will be also beneficial here, as we will make sure to provide with state-wise current affairs for them. Apart from this, we also make sure to cover the topic-wise current affairs such as your national affairs, government schemes, international affairs, banking and finance, economy and businesses, as these are the topics from which the examiner definitely asks the question, and these are covered on the monthly basis. So friends, do check our application. It will be a one-stop solution for learning. Apart from this, friends, CareersCloud is hiring. We are looking for candidates for subject matter experts in quants, reasoning and English, and also we are looking for a content creator for current affairs topic on daily basis, weekly basis and monthly basis. There is also an opening for a person who can translate the English content into Hindi. If you want to apply, you can scan the code here for further details, or you can go to the description and click the link below. These positions are available both in full-time and freelance for serious candidates. Hello everyone. So in this video, we will be discussing important current affairs for 1st and 2nd of May. Session will be quite interesting and important, so do pay attention till the end. Let's start. First is Department of Port, Shipping and Waterways. They have approved the Vizhinjam port in Kerala, operated by which organization to operate as India's first transshipment port. So, which is that organization to which recently Department of Port, Shipping and Waterways has approved this Vizhinjam port operated in Kerala? Correct? And this will be the India's first transshipment port. So it has been approved by whom? It has been approved by Adani Port and Special Economic Zone. Option 1 is absolutely right here. Right? And remember, this will be the India's first transshipment port. This facility is basically for the transfer of cargo between the ships. Cargo is your products, right, that will be shipped. And the initial phase target of the capacity here is 1 million 20 foot equivalent units. Correct? That is TEU. I repeat, 1 million 20 foot equivalent units, right? And apart from this, remember this Vizhinjam International Seaport, it is owned by the government of Kerala and operated by which organization? That is Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited. Correct? This organization, that is Adani Port and Special Economic Zone Limited, started their operations here in December 2015. Then if we talk about Adani Indian Ports Global Limited, correct? Here, remember that the Ministry of External Affairs, they have approved the proposal for Indian Ports
Global Limited to take over the operations of Sitwe Port. Sitwe Port. Then if we talk about Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, remember DP World. This is a logistics operator, a global logistics operator. They have partnered with Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority and they have signed a memorandum of understanding that is valued at 20,000 crore rupees for the development of Vadhavan Port. For the development of Vadhavan Port. And where is this Vadhavan Port located? It is located in the state of Maharashtra. So Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, they partnered with DP World and they signed this MOU worth 20,000 crore rupees for the development of Vadhavan Port, that is in Maharashtra. Then if we talk about L&T Shipping Limited, here remember UK's Ministry of Defence, right? They have recently deputed Royal Fleet Auxiliary Ship RFA Argus and RFA Lime Bay for the repair at the L&T Shipbuilding Limited. Right? Take a note of this. I repeat, United Kingdom's Ministry of Defence, they have allowed Royal Fleet Auxiliary Ships, that is RFA Argus and RFA Lime Bay for the repair at L&T Shipbuilding Limited. Right? Take a note of this. Moving on. Here you can see Adani's Vizhinjam port in Kerala approved as India's first transshipment. Next, UN's first international conference on digital public infrastructure held under which country's leadership in New York, USA. So, UN's first international conference on DPI, that is your digital public infrastructure, was held under which country's leadership? And that was held in, location is New York, USA. This is the headquarters of United Nations Development Program, right? So here it is under which country's leadership? It is our India's leadership. This first international conference on digital public infrastructure was held in New York, USA, right? And here the main aim was that India shared their citizen stack initiative, correct, that will encourage the nations to understand and develop their own digital public infrastructure, right? What is Indian stack here that we are talking about? This Indian stack includes the digital infrastructure that India has developed, the technology India has developed to cater such a vast population, and these include your Aadhaar card, then e-sign feature, DigiLocker, right, UPI. So these are some of the digital stack or India stack that has been incorporated into this, and this is the way we are catering such a vast population. Similarly, in order to encourage countries globally, and they should also develop their own framework for their own DPI, that is digital public infrastructure, so that they can also cater to the needs of their public. So it was our India that has recently under the India's leadership, this first international conference on DPI was held in New York, USA. If we talk about Brussels, Belgium, they've hosted the first ever nuclear energy summit. Right? It was organized by whom? It was organized by IAEA, that is International Atomic Energy Agency, along with Belgium, and it was held in Brussels, Belgium. Right? It was held in the March 24. Then if we talk about Switzerland, right? If we talk about Switzerland here, the 54th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum, right? Also known as your Davos Summit. This was held where? At Swiss Alpine School, that is in Davos in Switzerland, right? It was held from 15th to 19th of January. Right? What is the theme of this 54th World Economic Forum, also known as Davos Summit? Theme here being rebuilding trust. This is the theme here. Then if we talk about Uganda, remember recently in the month of Jan, Dr. S. Jaishankar, our Minister of External Affairs, he led the Indian delegation during the 19th Non-Aligned Movement Heads of States and Government Summit that was held in Kampala, Uganda. And during this summit, Uganda assumed the NAM chairmanship for 2024 to 2027. right? And Uganda took over the leadership from Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan was having this leadership from 2019 to 2023. Correct? Moving on, here you can see the first UN conference on citizens tech, that is the DPI, Digital Public Infrastructure Transformative Technology for Citizens. This was held at the UN headquarters in New York in USA, and it was under India's leadership. This was held, and it was to harness the technology to develop sustainable development goals related framework and foster inclusivity. The conference introduced India's digital public infrastructure framework as a global standard, right? It was hosted by the Permanent Ministry of India and the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in cooperation with iSpirit. What is this iSpirit? This is your Indian Software Product Industry Roundtable, right? Take a note of this. I repeat, it was hosted by whom? It was hosted by Permanent Mission of India, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in collaboration with iSpirit. Also remember, global leaders, tech innovators, and policy experts are here to discuss the global adoption of this digital public infrastructure. Right? Various discussions were held, various data was collected, data was analyzed as how we can employ and deploy these digital infrastructures. And we have seen that Indian stack has successfully integrated technology into their citizen services and has catered to vast population using technology. So similar kind of thing can be done in various countries. Also, the conference showcases examples from Philippines and Ethiopia that are demonstrating various paths to similar national outcomes of delivering services to citizens using the digitization process. And here emphasis was done on building the public-private partnership, that is triple P model, that will drive innovation and that will also provide contribution from various startups, MNCs and other organizations. Apart from this, Ruchira Kamboj, who is our permanent representative of India to the United Nations, and G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant, right? They were also present during this meeting. Moving on. Here you can see what is this Indian stack? Aadhaar, eSign, DigiLocker, UPI, right? And it is a name used to describe the collection of technology products and framework. On the other hand, DPI is a set of digital infrastructure components, APIs, that enable the delivery of various digital services to Indian citizens. Next, apart from this, friends, remember we have a official Telegram link channel. Here is the link provided to you. Take a note, just pause the video here itself, go to this link and follow our Telegram channel, right? All the information, all the updates related to our daily current affairs, links will be provided to here. Shorts links will be provided to you here, right? Daily we will be providing you quiz here. Daily we will be providing you one-liners in this particular Telegram channel, right? So this is the official Telegram channel, and I suggest all of the students watching this video to pause this video, download your Telegram, and if you have Telegram, go to this link and follow us, right? All the information will be provided to you on this Telegram channel. Moving on, RBI has announced interest rate of how much on floating rate saving bond 2034. So RBI, they have announced the interest rate of 8% on floating rate saving bond, that is FRSB 2034, right? This, it is a special type of bond issued by the government of India that will mature in 2034, and it is a variable rate bond. That means the interest that will be provided on this, because it is a floating means it will keep on changing, and it will change after 6 months. That means the rate will be fixed for 6 months, but every 6 months it will be changing, correct? And this time this bond has a maturity time period of 7 years. So coming back, it is 8%. RBI has announced 8% interest rate on, that is on floating rate saving bond for 2034, right? Apart from this, remember in March month, RBI's quarterly house price index for third quarter, I repeat, RBI's quarterly house price index, it is for the third quarter of FY24 was released, and all India HPI, that is house price index, increased by 3.8%, correct? And it is in third quarter of fiscal year 24 compared to 3.5% that grew in second quarter of FY24, right? And similarly, it grew by 2.8% in the third quarter of FY23. Then if we talk about RBI, they have kept the repo rate unchanged. Repo rate is unchanged at 6.5%, right? And this means this is for the seventh consecutive time, right? The repo rate was kept unchanged. It is basically to reduce inflation and make sure that people expect lower prices while ensuring its effectivity. Then apart from this, if we talk about consumer price inflation, that is CPI data, this is basically talks about inflation, how much inflation will be there in a country, and it is projected at to be 4.5%. Right? Apart from this, similarly for Feb 2024, the data was same, correct? And even for fiscal year 25, the first quarter, it is projected inflation will rise to 4.9%. In the second quarter, it will be close to 3.8%. In the third quarter, it will be 4.6%, and in the fourth quarter again at 4.5%. So on average, it will be around to 4.5% in the coming year. Right? Then if we talk about what are these floating rate saving bond, right? That is FRSB. As we have seen, it is a special kind of bond that is issued by the government of India that will mature in 2034. The interest rate is on average yield of the recent auctions for short-term government debt, such as your treasury bills, and these interest rate depends upon the market conditions. These interest rates are fixed for 6 months, but they will keep on changing. That means that is the reason floating rate, that means it will keep on changing, right? Interest on these bonds are paid semi-annually, right? Semi-annually. The first installment of this rate will be paid on 1st of Jan, second installment of 1st of July every year, right? And these FRBs, they have a maturity period of 7 years. The minimum investment they can have is starting from 1000 rupees, and there is no upper limit for the same. And as this news suggests, the interest rate on FRB bond will be 8% from 30th of April 24 till 29th of October 2024, right? And these FRBs, these are secure bonds, right? Because they are issued by the government of India. Apart from this, remember, RBI, they have cancelled the certificate of registration, that is COR, of Ace Money India Limited over irregular lending practices. I repeat, what is the reason? Because of the irregular lending practices, RBI has cancelled the COR of Ace Money India Limited. Correct? And RBI, under their power conferred under section 45(1)(a) part 6 of the RBI Act of 1934, they have cancelled the certificate of registration of this Delhi-based NBFC Ace Money India Private Limited. Correct? Take a note of this. Moving on. Also, if we talk about some of the benefits of this FRSB, as I just mentioned, they are secure because they are provided by the government of India, right? Also, they provide flexible interest rate of the interest rate, because as the interest rate for FRB can also increase, but a little bit negative side that it can also decrease from 8%. Moving on, which of the following organization has raised an investment of $5 million in seed funding from PayU to enhance cross-border payment? So it is BriskPay. It is BriskPay, right? BriskPay, this is a Mumbai, Maharashtra based payment platform. They secured an investment of $5 million in their seed round from PayU. That was the first seed round, that the earliest funding round, right? And they raised this amount from PayU. This is a payment and fintech business, correct? This investment will focus on simplifying the global payment for Indian MSMEs, right? So that Indian MSMEs can easily pay for their exports, correct, easily, and also to different parts of the world. And BriskPay here will use the funding to enhance their product and service offerings. They will expand their team also to provide better opportunities for various organizations so that a better payment system can be established for them, right? This funding will drive development, talent acquisition, business expansion, and so on, correct? Then if we talk about PayPal, correct, here remember, Elon Musk, was once a member of PayPal. Do remember this, right? If we talk about Pay Global, Play Global got RBI approval for payment aggregator license. If we talk about PhonePe, NPCI in March, in the month of March, PhonePe they have received the Nepal, or we can say NPCI. They partnered with Nepal's PhonePe. This PhonePe is of Nepal, so that we can enhance the UPI transaction between India and Nepal. And in November month, Pay Global got this RBI approval to act as a payment aggregator. Next, monthly economic review of April 24 of the National Council of Applied Economic Research projected Indian economy to grow faster than how much percent in FY24. So Indian economy is projected to grow faster than 7% in FY24 as per the data released by NCAER, that is National Council of Applied Economic Research. Right, they released their monthly economic review of April 24 and they projected Indian economy to grow faster than 7% in FY24. Right, and this will be driven by various acceleration in both global growth as well as trade volumes and India's infrastructure development and manufacturing. Here will be the most sector, or will be the sector that will contribute most to the India's growth. Correct? So 7%. Apart from this, World Bank, they projected that India will be growing by 7.5% in 2024. Then if we talk about International Monetary Fund, they projected that India will be growing by 6.8% in FY25. And World Bank, they also expect Indian economy to grow by 6.6% in the financial year 25. Right? Take a note of this. Apart from this, if we talk about PMI, that is your Purchasing Managers Index, and it is basically for manufacturing, and it is at 16-year high of 59.1 in March 2024. This was 56.9 in Feb 2024, and this increase in this PMI suggests that we are high on manufacturing, right? That means we are increasing our manufacturing, and the reason I said, because India's sector, that is infrastructure development and manufacturing, these are the one of the most sectors that are contributing to the growth of India, right? Purchasing Managers Index, and it is for the manufacturing sector. It talks about the strength of the manufacturing sector. And if we talk about the PMI for service sector, it increased to, and if we talk about PMI for service sector, it increased to 61.2%, or 61.2 in the month of March. That was more from 60.6 in the Feb. Now you will be asking, sir, what is this PMI, Purchasing Managers Index? We know that, but what does this mean? This means that it talks about the economic conditions, about the current and future business conditions. That means if we are talking about, say, particular manufacturing sector or service sector here, this data will tell us that how we are performing, how that particular sector is performing as a whole. So we saw that in the month of March 2024, it was 59.1 for the manufacturing. That means it was more as compared to the last month of Feb 2024. That means we can say from Feb to March, we have shown a growth in manufacturing sector. Correct? So understand it like this. Then apart from this, if we talk about UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface, UPI transaction was at record high with 13.4 billion transactions in March 2024. Right? This is a almost 55.3% growth year on year basis. Even the GST collection was at a high record of 1.8 lakh crore GST collected in March 2024. Correct? And it is second highest since 2017 rollout, and it showed a year on year growth of 11.5%. Correct? Take a note of this. If we talk about CPI, that is Consumer Price Inflation or Consumer Price Index, CPI is your Consumer Price Index. It talks about the inflation, and basically the data suggests that there was a decrease in inflation in Feb 2024. The inflation was 5.1%, and in the March it is 4.9%. Correct? Take a note of this. Apart from this, remember, if we talk about this NCAER, that is your National Council of Applied Economic Research, right? They projected an optimistic outlook, correct? Even they are exceeding the RBI's outlook of 7% growth, right? And even if we talk about Asian Development Bank, they forecasted that Indian GDP for the fiscal year 25 will be at 7%, and IMF suggested that Indian GDP will be at 6.8%. Right? Moving on. Next, which organization signed a memorandum of understanding with Nagar Nigam Haridwar to establish a waste to green energy plant? So, which is that organization? It will be your TUECO. What is this TUECO? It stands for THDCIL UJVNL Energy Company Limited. Correct? And they have signed an MOU with Nagar Nigam of Haridwar, Uttarakhand to establish a waste to green energy plant worth 140 crore rupees. This initiative will aim to convert 40 tons of solid waste per day into 140 tons of green charcoal. Correct? And Nagar Nigam of Haridwar, they have recently allocated 10 acres of land for this project. Correct? Coming back, it is TUECO. They signed this MOU with Nagar Nigam of Haridwar, Uttarakhand to establish a waste to green energy plant. Right? Take a note of this. Then this, remember, THDCIL UJVNL. Correct? This is a joint venture of THDC India Limited and UJVNL. Correct? If we talk about this THDCIL, what does this stands for? This is your Tehri Hydro Development Corporation Limited, and they have signed a joint venture with Uttarakhand Jal Vidyut Nigam Limited. Correct? Apart from this, if we talk about Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, right? They partnered with CIAL. They signed this MOU to set up world's first hydrogen plant within airport. World's first hydrogen plant within an airport. Correct? Where this airport will be, if asked to you, where this hydrogen plant has been set up. So at which airport? So it will be at Cochin International Airport, that is in Kerala. Right? Apart from this, if we talk about Remain India Private Limited, here DST, they signed an agreement with Remain India Private Limited to establish a commercial plant for the recycling of lithium ion batteries. For the recycling of these lithium ion batteries, correct, and e-waste, that is your electronic waste, DST, they partnered with Remain India Private Limited. And where this plant will be? It will be in Uttarakhand. Then if we talk about Indraprastha Gas Limited, they signed an MOU with Tech Partners. They signed an MOU with Tech Partners to set up 19 CBG plants across Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan and UP. Correct? CBG is your compressed biogas plants, and they will be across Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan and UP, that is Uttar Pradesh. Moving on. Name the winner of the 35th Goldman Environmental Prize, also known as Green Nobel Prize from Asia. So who is the winner here? The winner will be Alok Shukla. Right? Remember, Goldman Environmental Foundation, they have announced the winner of the 35th Goldman Environmental Prize. This is also known as this is also known as Green Nobel Prize. Correct? And Alok Shukla, he is the convener of the Chhattisgarh Bachao Andolan and the founding member of the Hasdiyo Aranya Bachao Sangharsh Samiti, and he won the 2024 Goldman Prize from Asia for his efforts to save the forest of the Hasdiyo Aranya in Chhattisgarh. The award ceremony was held at the War Memorial Opera in San Francisco, USA. Correct? And the 2024 awards was presented to 7 individuals committed to protecting their communities and environment. Correct? If we talk about those 7 individuals, you can see here from Asian region, Alok Shukla, from India, from Africa, from Europe, from islands and island nations, from North America and South and Central America. These are the winners, but the important one you need to remember here is from our India for the Asian category, from the Asian region, and it was under the forest category. Right? Then if we talk about here, first of all, see, you can see here Alok Shukla, right? And he have won the 35th Goldman Environmental Prize. This is also known as Green Nobel Prize. If here we talk about Teresa Vincente, right? She led a grassroots campaign to preserve the Mar Menor, that is the Europe's largest saltwater lagoon from collapse. Right? She led a campaign for this. Then if we talk about Marcel Gomes, remember Marcel Gomes, he led a global campaign exposing the JBS, that is the world's largest meat packing company, and this led a Marcel Gomes, he led a global campaign which exposed this organization, and also it exposed the illegal deforestation in Brazil that was done by this company. Then if we talk about Murawa Maruchi Johnson, right? She halted the Varatha coal mine. She halted Varatha coal mine, safeguarding more than 20,000 acres of Bimblebox nature refuge and preserving the release of 1.58 billion tons of carbon dioxide. Right? Her precedent-setting case upheld in 2023 and allowed other indigenous groups to oppose the coal projects by connecting climate change to their rights. Correct? So coming back for Alok Shukla, remember for his efforts to save the forest of Hasdeo Aranya, that is in Chhattisgarh. For this, he received the Goldman Environmental Prize, that is the 35th edition. Correct? Then here you can see, if we further talk about this Goldman Environmental Prize, correct? Here the winners are awarded with 200,000 US dollar as the prize money. The award is recognized by any individual for sustained and significant efforts to protect the nature that is at risk. Correct? The prize recognizes the grassroots environmental heroes from 6 inhabited continents, and here you can see that is India, Africa, from continents that are Asia, Africa, Europe, right? Then your islands and islands nation, North America, South America and Central America. Correct? So from these they are being awarded. This award was founded in 1989 by Richard and Rhoda Goldman, and the first Goldman Environmental Prize ceremony was held in 1990 in the month of April, and this year in 24 it was the 35th edition. Correct? Take a note of it here. Next is who won the 2024 Cambridge Dedicated Teachers Award for Middle East and North Africa region. So who that teacher will be? Tell me. So Indian origin teacher Gina Justus, Indian origin teacher. Correct? She is in UAE, United Arab Emirates, and she has been named as the regional winner of 2024 Cambridge Dedicated Teachers Award from the Middle East and North Africa region. Correct? Take a note of this. From India, she belongs from Trivandrum, Kerala. Right? And she has been working in UAE since 2005, and she was named here. And if we talk about Meena Mishra, she is also an Indian. She was named as the winner of the award from South Asia region. From South Asia region. And Gina Justus was named from the Middle East and North Africa region. Right? Take a note of this. Then if we talk about Gopi Thotakura, remember, an entrepreneur and a seasoned pilot. He is from Andhra Pradesh, and he has been selected among the 6 crew members for the Blue Origin's New Shepard 25 mission. Right? This will be a space tourism mission, and he will be the first Indian space tourist here. Then if we talk about Akshata Murthy, right? This is the news from December month. Akshata Murthy, an Indian researcher, Dr. Akshata Krishnamurthy, has been became the first Indian citizen. First Indian women citizen to operate the rover, that is Perseverance, on the Mars. Right? I repeat, Akshata Krishnamurthy, she became the first Indian citizen as well as first Indian woman to operate the rover, that is Perseverance, on Mars. Correct? And also became the first Indian citizen to collect the sample from the Mars and bring back it to the Earth. Next, here you can see Indian origin teacher Gina Justus received the 2024 Cambridge Dedicated Teacher Award for the MENA region. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Director General of NICE for a period of 3 years. So, AMU Professor Mohammad Rehan took charge as the Director General of NISE. So, Mohammad Rehan. Right? Let me show you in the picture. Mohammad Rehan, a professor from Electric Engineering Department and Aligarh Muslim University in Aligarh, UP, has assumed the role of Director General at the National Institute of Solar Energy, NISE. He will serve at the NISE on deputation for an initial term of 3 years, correct, and it has a potential expansion of 2 years, but current term is of 3 years, right? Take a note of this. Apart from this, if we look at the options here, Ahmad Awad bin Mubarak, right? The Presidential Leadership Council of Yemen appointed Dr. Ahmad Awad bin Mubarak as Yemen's new prime minister. New prime minister of Yemen, right? Apart from this, if we talk about Justice Nawaf Salam, Justice Nawaf Salam is from Lebanon and he was elected as the president of the International Court of Justice. President of International Court of Justice. Correct? Take a note of this. And he will be in this position for 3 years. Nawaf Salam succeeded whom? He succeeded Judge Joanne E. Dongyu. Correct? And he was from USA. Coming back, Ranjit Kumar Agarwal. If we talk about him, so recently ICAI has elected CA Ranjit Kumar Agarwal as their 72nd president. 72nd president, right? He will be succeeding whom? Ranjit Kumar Agarwal. He will be succeeding Aniket Sunil Talati, whose term ended for the term 23-24. Also, CA Charanjot Singh Nanda has also been appointed as the vice president here of ICAI. Who he will be? CA Charanjot Singh Nanda, right? Then coming back, remember we are talking about AMU Professor Mohammad Rehan. He took charge as the Director General of NISE and he will be in this position for 3 years. This NISE, this is an autonomous institution under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy and is at the apex national research and development institution in the field of solar energy. Apart from this, if we talk about Professor Mohammad Rehan, right, he has been appointed to the position of DG and it was endorsed by the Selection Committee of Exports and senior Indian IAS officers. Apart from this, he has been working and visiting scientists at NISE. He has been the member of the Central Project Implementation and Monitoring Committee of AMU. He is also the founder, director and coordinator of the Center for Grid Integrated Green and Renewable Energy Initiatives. He has led an integration of 6.5 megawatt peak solar photovoltaic plant in the AMU campus distribution grid, and this is the largest in any institution in India. He has also established a center for training on solar photovoltaic cells in collaboration with the Skill Council, Green Jobs and the Government of India. He has also conceptualized and started a joint MTech program on green energy and sustainable development with NISE. If we talk about NISE, that is National Institute of Solar Energy, headquartered in Gurugram, Haryana, and it was established in 2013. Next, who has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Geo Financial Service Limited for a period of 3 years. So Hitesh Sethia, right? Recently, Ministry of Corporate Affairs has appointed Hitesh Kumar Sethia as the MD and CEO of Geo Financial Service Limited. He will be in this position for a period of 3 years with effect from 15th of November 2023. If we talk about Praveen Achutan Kutti, RBI has approved the appointment of Praveen Achutan Kutti as the MD and Chief Executive Officer of DCB Bank, right? And he will also be in this position for 3 years. If we talk about Sanjeev Agarwal, right, in the month of January, Sanjeev Agarwal, correct, and was appointed as the MD and CEO of NIIFL, that is National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited, with effect from Feb 2024. And in the month of November, Dipesh Nanda, right, he has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Tata Power Renewable Energy Limited. that is TPREL. Correct, and this will be with effect from 1st of November 2023. Right, so take a note of these important appointments. Apart from this, if we talk about some of the timelines about Hitesh Kumar Sethia, right, he's a certified chartered accountant, and he has worked with many reputed companies across Europe, Asia, and North America. He has an extensive experience of 20 years in the banking industry. He worked mostly with ICICI Bank, correct, and he has handled the operation of ICICI Bank in Canada, Germany, and Hong Kong. He joined McLaren Strategic Ventures in 2022 as the head of Europe. Then in July 23, he was at the board of Reliance Industries and has appointed in 2023, board of Reliance Industries has appointed Hitesh Kumar Sethia as their MD and CEO, and later it was renamed to Reliance Strategic Investment Limited. Later it was renamed to Geo Financial Service Limited. Right? Take a note of this. Then if we talk about Geo Financial Service Limited, this offers various financial services such as insurance broking, payment services, etc. It is registered with RBI as NBFC. Then here independent and non-executive chairman will be Kundapur Vaman Kamath. Headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Formed in 2023 on 25th of July. Moving on. As per the ISRO's Indian Space Situation Assessment Report for 2023, how many objects originating from 212 launches and on-orbit breakup events were added to the space object population in 2023? We know that space object or space population is also one of the most important criteria for safety, because there are so many objects, small fragments that are floating in our orbit, in Earth's orbit. Right, so for this particular reason, this report was released, and it stated that as per the report, there are how many? There are a total of 3,143 objects originating from 212 launches and on-orbit breakup events that were added to the space object population in 2023 alone. That was compared to 2,533 small objects that were added into 2022, and this year it was in 2023, last year it was 3,143 objects were added into the space orbit. Correct. Since the beginning of Indian space era, a total of 127 satellites have been launched till 31st of December 2023, and the number of operational satellites owned by the government of India is 2022 in low Earth orbit and 29 in the geosynchronous Earth orbit. Correct. Apart from this, if we look at the data of 2533, what is this 2533? This is the space objects that were in our orbit in 2022, added into our orbit in 2022. Correct. Then remember, 676 we have discovered. Around these many lakes, 676 lakes has been expanded since 1984 in the our Himalayan region. Correct. Amongst the 2,431 glacial lakes that are larger than 10 hectares, they have been expanded. Right. So 676 lakes among these 2,431 lakes has been expanded. Correct. Since 1984 because of the rise in temperature and global warming. Correct. And this is also the data released by ISRO's long-term satellite imagery, right, that was taken from 1984 to 2023. Between this time frame, the data was collected and the report released here that these many lakes has been expanded. Correct. Then if we further talk about this Indian Space Situational Assessment Report, this is compiled by ISRO. Correct. And basically it is for the safe and sustainable space operations. Right, that means whenever we launch any satellite or rocket into our orbit, we should make sure that there is no debris in our orbit that is orbiting that can hit our rocket or satellite, because if it does, the impact will be very disastrous and even it can lead to a failure of the mission. Correct. Then if we talk about the collision avoidance maneuvers, the report highlighted that an increasing trend in the collision avoidance maneuvers per year, which indicate that the growing congestion in our outer space, that means more and more objects are being added into our atmosphere that can lead to collisions further. Also, according to the report, around 1,37,565 close approach alerts were received from United States Space Command, and in 2023, a total of 3,033 alerts for close approach with a distance of 1 kilometer were detected for the ISRO satellites also. Right? Then if we talk about ISRO, who is the chairman? S. Somnath, headquarter Bengaluru, Karnataka, established in 1969. Right? Next, ammunition cum torpedo cum missile barge LSAM-20, that is the sixth barge of 11X ACTCM is the project of the Indian Navy that was launched in Thane, Maharashtra. Question asked here is that this barge is built by which organization? So it is built by whom? It is built by Surya Dipta Projects Private Limited. Correct? Surya Dipta Projects Private Limited. Correct? Take a note of this. And where was this launched? In Thane, Maharashtra. Correct? And Surya Dipta Projects Private Limited, they signed a contract for this barge on 5th of March 2021. Right? Then if we talk about Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, for this remember, Ministry of Defence, they have signed a contract with Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited to acquire 14 fast patrol vessels for the Indian Coast Guard, and the deal was worth 1070 crore rupees. Then if we talk about Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, here remember GRSC, correct? They have launched Agraya and Akshay. Agraya is the 5th and Akshay is the 6th of the 8 anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft project for the Indian Army. 2 more are to come, that is 7th and 8th. Then if we talk about Cochin Shipyards Limited, they have launched the first three ships of the 8 anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft projects, that are INS Mahi, INS Malwan and INS Mangrol, and they were for the Indian Navy. Next is Ayushman Bharat Divas is observed in India on which day to celebrate success and achievements of Ayushman Bharat scheme. So this day is observed on 30th of April to raise awareness about the objectives of Ayushman Bharat, a flagship scheme of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Right? Then what is this Ayushman Bharat? First of all, let's discuss this. This was launched as a recommended by National Health Policy of 2017 to achieve the vision of universal health coverage, and PM Modi launched this scheme in Ranchi, Jharkhand on 23rd of September 2018. It has two interrelated components, that is Health and Wellness Center and Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Right? Then if we talk about this Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, what is this basically? Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is basically a scheme that is aimed at providing assured health cover of up to 5 lakh rupees per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization to over 12 crore poor and vulnerable families that are from the bottom 40% of the Indian population. And it provides cashless and paperless access to the services for the beneficiaries at the point of service in any impaneled hospital across India. Right? If we talk about this health and wellness centers, in 2018, Government of India announced the creation of 1,50,000 health and wellness centers by transforming the existing sub-centers and primary health centers. Objective here is to deliver comprehensive primary health care closer to the people's home. Right? And Ayushman Bharat, this was launched as in 2017. Correct? So coming back, this Ayushman Bharat Divas observed on 30th of April in India. Apart from this, on 7th of November, we observe National Cancer Awareness Day. Correct? And it commemorates the birth anniversary of Madam Curie. On 25th of September, we observe Antyodaya Divas Day. That is the birth anniversary of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay. On March 16, we observe National Vaccination Day, and it is to raise awareness of the significance and the value of vaccine. Right? Moving on. Next is Which UN International Jazz Day is annually observed across the globe on which day to raise awareness of jazz culture's significance and its benefits as an educational tool? So when do we observe International Jazz Day? On 30th of April we observe International Jazz Day, and it is to highlight the role of this diplomatic relation of uniting people around the world with this jazz. Correct? The global host of the 2024 International Jazz Day celebration is Morocco. Right? Take a note of this. And the first ever International Jazz Day was observed in the year 2012 on 13th of April. Correct? Take a note of this. Then on 30th of March we observe International Day of Zero Waste. Right? Then on 20th of March we observe International Day of Happiness. And on 24th January we observe International Day of Education. Correct? Coming back, remember we saw who observed this. It is observed by this day, that is your UN International Jazz Day is observed by Morocco, or to be precise which city? Tangier of Morocco, right? And it is the first time a city of the African nation is hosting this, right? And this day is chaired and led by UNESCO's Director General Audrey Azoulay and Herbie Hancock. Right? Take a note of this. And for the first time this was observed in 2012. Then is your Satellite Day. When was Satellite Technology Day observed? So on across India on 19th of April we observe Satellite Technology Day. Right? And it is basically to highlight the achievements made in the satellite technology. This day commemorates the launch of the India's first satellite, that is Aryabhatta, that was launched on 19th of April in 1975. And this 24 year marks the beginning of the 50th year of the Aryabhatta launch. Right? Take a note of this. Then if we talk about April 12, this day is observed as UN International Day of Human Space Flight. Correct? And it is observed on 12th of April to celebrate the beginning of the space era. Correct? Then on 23rd of August, we observe the National Space Day. And PM Modi declared that 23rd of August will be observed as the Space Day for commemorating the soft landing of Chandrayaan 3 on the moon. Then October 4th is observed as UN World Space Week, and it is observed from 4th to 10th of October. Right? Take a note of this. And the theme for the World Space Week for 2023 was space and entrepreneurship. Right? Take a note of this. Apart from this, here remember, if we talk about Satellite Technology Day, Aryabhatta was named after the ancient Indian mathematician and astronomer Aryabhatta. Correct? Apart from this, remember, U.R. Rao was the director of U.R. Rao Satellite Center from 1972 till 1985, and the chairman of ISRO and the secretary of Department of Space from 1984 to 1994. Right? Then URSC Bengaluru commemorated the Satellite Technology 24 and marking it the 50th anniversary of the India's first satellite Aryabhatta. So friends, these were your important days for the day, important current affairs for the day. Now let's move to the important one-liner section. Adani's Vizhinjam port in Kerala approved as India's first transshipment port. UN's first international conference on DPI held under India's leadership in New York, USA. RBI announced the interest rate of 80% on floating rate saving bond 2034. BriskPay raised $5 million in seed funding from PayU to enhance cross-border payments. Indian economy to grow faster than 7% in FY25 as per NCAER. TUE CO they signed an MOU with Nagar Nigam Haridwar to establish a waste to green energy plant. 35th Goldman Environmental Prize was held, and Chhattisgarh Bachao Andolan leader Alok Shukla bags this award. Indian origin teacher Gina Justus received the 2024 Cambridge Dedicated Teacher Award for MENA region. AMU Professor Mohammad Rehan took charge as the Director General of NISE. Hitesh Sethi appointed as MD and CEO of Geo Financial Service Limited for a period of 3 years. ISRO has released ISS-AR 2023 report on vulnerability of space assets to collisions. Then SPPL launched 6th ACTM barge LSAM-20 in Thane, Maharashtra. Ayushman Bharat Day was observed on 30th of April, International Jazz Day on 30th of April, and Satellite Technology Day on 19th of April. So these were your important segment for the day, friends. Do like the video and comment below and let us know what are your views for the same. Now let's move to some revision part that will be very beneficial in your learning.
Name the personality who has recently won 66th Annual Grammy Awards Album of the Year and became the first ever artist to win Album of the Year 4 times. So she is Taylor Swift, a very famous singer. She also recently became a billionaire, right? And Taylor Swift is the personality who won the 66th Annual Grammy Award, correct, for the Album of the Year, and she became the first ever artist to win the Album of the Year 4 times. She won this in 2010, then 2016, right? Then in 2020 and now again in 2024. So these are the 4 times in which Taylor Swift has won the Grammy Award, and this is for the 4th time. Next, who has recently won 2023 Wildlife Photographer of the Year 59 People's Choice Award by the Natural History Museum, London, UK. So who won the 2023 Wildlife Photographer of the Year 59 People's Choice Award by the Natural History Museum, London, UK? So right option here becomes Nima Sarikhani, correct, of United Kingdom, right? And Nima Sarikhani won the award for his photographer of a polar bear sleeping peacefully on a small iceberg. Next, name the personality who has recently conferred with the Lifetime Achievement Award with gold medal by Sports Journalists Federation of India. So, PT Usha, correct, was conferred with the Lifetime Achievement Award with gold medal by the Sports Journalists Federation of India. Correct? Take a note of this. PT Usha, she is the president of Indian Olympic Association, right? And she was honored with this Lifetime Achievement Award with gold medal by Sports Journalists Federation of India. This was during an event that was held at National Sports Club of India, that is in New Delhi. Next, which of the following personalities won the Sports Star of the Year Male and Sports Star of the Year Female at the Sports Star Aces Award 2024 respectively? So, if we are talking about Sports Star of the Year for male category, Neeraj Chopra, and for the female category, Sheetal Devi. So, Neeraj Chopra won the Sports Star of the Year in male category, and Sheetal Devi has been won the Sports Star of the Year in female category. This was during the Sports Star Aces Award 2024 respectively. Correct. Apart from this, Sheetal Devi, remember, she also won the Moment of the Year award. Moment of the Year award. Correct. And this event was held at Taj Mahal Palace, that is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Next, who has recently received a special award at the Lokmat Maharashtrian of the Year 2024? So, who has recently received a special award at the Lokmat Maharashtrian of the Year 2024? Isha Ambani. Right? Isha Ambani has received or has won the special award at the Lokmat Maharashtrian of the Year 2024 ceremony held in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Isha Ambani was honored for her remarkable contribution in the field of business, right? Her contribution in the field of business, she was honored with the special award at the Lokmat Maharashtrian of the Year 2024. Next, according to the 2023 Burgundy Private Huron India 500 released by Axis Bank's Burgundy Private and Huron India in Feb, which company has emerged as the India's most valuable company for the third consecutive year? It is RIL. Reliance Industries Limited has emerged as the India's most valuable company for the third consecutive year according to Burgundy Private Huron India 50 released by Axis Bank's Burgundy Private and Huron India combined together. The total cumulative value of the 2023 Burgundy Private Huron India 500 companies is close to $2.8 trillion. Combined value we are talking about. If we are talking about Reliance Industries Limited, which is on top, correct, it is followed by TCS, it is followed by HDFC Bank. If we talk about the valuation of RIL, that is Reliance Industries Limited, it is close to 15 lakh 64,000 crore rupees. For TCS, it is close to 12 lakh 36,000 crore rupees. And for HDFC, it is close to 11 lakh 25,000 crore rupees. Next, who has recently conferred with the Vishisht Seva Medal for designing an innovative drone called a multi-purpose octocopter. So, who recently conferred with the Vishisht Seva Medal for designing an innovative drone called a multi-purpose octocopter? So, he will be Virendra Singh, right? He is from Sikh regiment and from the Sikh regiment of Indian Army, correct, and he was honored with this Vishisht Seva Medal for designing an innovative drone that was called a multi-purpose octocopter. He was one of the 130 Vishisht Seva Medal awardees that were announced by President of India Draupadi Murmu.
Next is our homework section. First, recently who has been appointed as the president of the Indian Vaccine Manufacturers Association. Second, what is Sierra Madre recently seen in news? Third, which organization has sanctioned a study on the impact evaluation of GI products? Fourth, what is K218B recently seen in news? And fifth, which organization has been granted Navratna status by the Department of Public Enterprise? So these are your 5 homework question, friends, and I need to see maximum participation from all the students watching this video.
That's all for the day, friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at AffairsCloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the of courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this, friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is AffairsCloud_official. Also, students, you can use code Vikas10 that will give you extra 10% discount on the courses that you will purchase.